Hello everybody, here I am doing another video. This time I'm going to talk about my results on Dna.land and in WeGene, which is one of them I think it's based in China. But anyways, I got similar results. As you know from my last video, the Ancestry.com one, that was a bit of a surprise to me because I didn't get any Spanish or Iberian in me. And I'm Salvadorian, both parents are Salvadorian for quite a few generations now. But so I thought I would get at least some Spanish, but I didn't, and so that was a cool surprise. But so I'm gonna go ahead and just read you my results. I put them into Dna.land, and that one, along with the WeGene, they were quite different from the one in Ancestry.com. And from what I read, it happens. It varies just a little bit because of the way their algorithms work and the way they classify each continent. For example, like DNA or Ancestry.com is very broad when it comes to that. But Dna.land and WeGene, they give you a lot of insight, or they're more specific on what they're saying. So here we go. So I'm going to read you my Dna.land results. For European, they had me at 55.2%, which is significantly lower than it was on Ancestry.com. But anyways, they break it down even further, which is really, really cool. So 24% is Mediterranean Icelander, sorry. That includes Sicily, Malta, and Cyprus. Not Sardinia, but 13.2 is Sardinian, so Sardinia. 11.4 was South Central Europe, and they say that means Tuscany and Bergamo in Italy. That's kind of cool. 3.2 is what they call ambiguous Eurasian, so that can mean like it can mean any Europe, Northern Europe, Northeastern Europe, all the way into like Kazakhstan or Kyrgyzstan, all the way down to India. So it's just ambiguous. Eurasian is what they call it. And that's 3.4, which is pretty high, I think. Even like Siberia, too. 3.2 Finnish. Ancestry.com didn't give me any North European, like Scandinavian. It gave me some British, but none of that. So that's pretty cool. So total European 55.2, which makes more sense to me. Native American part was really, really interesting. Ancestry.com was a lot lower on this, which I was a little confused. But Native American total Dna.land gave me 36%, so that makes a lot more sense. 35% it says Native American, which is they only break it down into basic Native American and Amazonian tribes. So 35% is Native American that is not in the Amazons. 1% of it, however, was Amazonian tribes. I don't really know. I guess the Amazonian tribes have been separated longer, or I'm not really sure. But if you have any information on that, I'd like to know. Let's see. The African part was a little higher too. It was a 5.8. 3.9 of that was the lower Niger Valley, which I'm pretty sure that's West Africa. Yeah, Nigeria, close to that, but lower Niger Valley it says, and then 1.9% ambiguous African. Then the other part was 3% of Northeast Asia. Northeast Asia, they said, was like Japan, Korea, like northern China, east into Siberia also. So that makes sense because I think that maybe the Native American is there too because, they cross the Bering Strait and all that. But anyways, those are the Dna.land results, which made a lot more sense. And it's cool. And I still didn't get any Iberian, which is crazy to me, but I got a little bit more insight, which is so cool. All right, so WeGene.com, WeGene.com. It's based in China, and so this is really good if you have a lot of Asian ancestry. They will break it down very specific, which was really cool. They're not so good at the European part because, Well, you'll see. Okay, so I'll read those to you. Let's see. WeGene gave me European was 56.991% European, which is very similar to the Dna.land. A little lower than it was on Ancestry.com. But this was crazy. Okay, so 44.38% is a Sardinian. So again with the Mediterranean islands, Sardinia this time. I don't know why it was. Maybe they group it together like Sicily, Sardinia, maybe Corsica. Maybe they're genetically similar. I think the Dna.land had them separated, but it was like Sicily all the way to Malta and Cyprus. But this one pointed down to Sardinia, so I'm guessing that Corsica, Sardinia, Sicily, that area of Italy. 5.83%, or I'm sorry, 5.87% was, I can't say this word, Ashkenazi Jew. That is pretty cool. I didn't know what that was. I honestly have never heard that before, but it's apparently Jews from like Eastern Europe. They say Einstein was an Ashkenazi Jew. Anybody has more information on that? That would be really, really cool. Then 5.71 Hungarian, which is really cool, but that's like Central Europe. So, I saw that 11.4% of South Central or South and Central Europe in the other one, but it told me it was Italy. So maybe Hungarians are related to that. But I can see that one mixed with the Ashkenazi Jew that is roughly around 11%. So it makes a lot. It makes a lot of sense. The Native American part here was a little lower than the one in Dna.land, but it was 29.26%. 29.26 Native American. This was cool because it broke it down. So 28.78% was Maya, like Mayan, which makes total sense because, El Salvador it was Maya territory. Well, the western part, where my family's from. Well, my dad's from the center, but it's such a small country. Mayan. So that was pretty cool. I mean, that wasn't a surprise. I already knew that, but still, Maya. That's cool. 0.48% was other, so I'm guessing that's the Amazonian one. Let's see. Okay, Africa was a lot stronger here. So 6.34% was from Africa, and it doesn't tell you like what part, but all the other ones told me it was West Africa, so I'm just gonna assume it's West Africa. 6.34 though, that's higher than any of the other one. I think I don't remember Ancestry. Anyways, that was higher than Dna.land. This was kind of cool. Other Asia, it was 5.61% of Other Asia. Other Asia, I guess, was like India, Central Asia, that the stands and all that. So 3.83% Kyrgyzstan, Kyrgyz, 1.76% Iranian. That was kind of cool. I'm guessing that's like Persian. 0.02% others. That's pretty cool too. And I think Ancestry and the other ones, they group it with European, so that's why it was so high. But Iranian or the Persian, the Kyrgyz, that makes sense because of all the, based on the history. A lot of, I mean, if my family did come from the Mediterranean, they were conquered a lot. So that makes sense. Oh, this was cool. And Southeast Asia, 1.88% Cambodian. That was really cool. I don't. Maybe they're genetically related to the Native Americans. They must have split off and went head south, and the other ones went to the Bering Strait. But if you have more information on that, I'd like to know. That's my genetic makeup. You should do it. It's very easy. Once you upload your raw data or you download your raw data from Ancestry.com, you can put it into several websites. If you know of another one, I'd like to know. I did GEDmatch, but it was, that one honestly was a little harder to understand, but it basically gave me the same results as Ancestry, the same percentages. It just kind of broke it down into tribes. But the coolest thing I found about GenMatch was it would tell you like, okay, let's say you're like this. Let's say if a Maya and a Sicilian and a Sardinian and like a, I don't know, Siberian got together, that's you. So that was pretty cool. You know, it goes back thousands of years, but basically that was a pattern that I got most of it. So Sicilian, Siberian, Maya, and what's the other one? Sardinian. There you go. Um, anyway, so that's cool. Okay. So for my final thought, this is what I really want to say. I know that there have been a lot of comments on my other video. Some people, going off on racist tangents against me or against other people that have commented on the video. But I just want to say one thing. I want to say this is just for fun. This is just for fun. I don't think. I mean, it's a genetic makeup of who you are that goes back thousands of years. And just like we're all so mixed, it proves to you that nationalism, again, is just an illusion that we've created. And I know that there's a lot of racism out there, especially a lot of Latinos have commented on my things and they're saying, like, you made these results up. And I'm like, why would anybody make results up? Why would you do that? There's no point. You can't lie about your genetic makeup. But and I understand. I understand that a lot of Latinos, especially the ones that are like considered to be more Native American, like me, I get that. They feel a little ashamed because they've been taught shame to feel ashamed of your indigenous roots. Um, Indio, the term Indio, like Indian, but Indio in Spanish is a derogatory term in our countries. And if someone calls you an Indio, that means that you're like ignorant and you're like a backwoods redneck kind of person. That's what they call you. It's like, oh, it's Indio. And it so has a very negative connotation. But I just like to say, do not feel ashamed of your genetics. Do not feel ashamed of being indigenous. It is a beautiful thing. That means that we are from this continent. We are from this continent. And how there's been, for hundreds of years now, there's been a movement from, our conquistadores, the conquistadors that have come here to the Americas, and they're trying to suppress that. And they're trying to make us feel bad for being natives, indigenous. And so I guess a lot of people think that most people are trying to not be indigenous because they feel ashamed. But I just want to say, do not feel ashamed. Don't play into that, because it was just a trick that they used for their caste systems. The Spanish had caste systems, and the Indios and the Africans were at the very bottom. And so they wanted to, how they say in Spanish, we want to better the race, which means that they wanted to find more Europeans so their kids would be mixed, so they would be treated better. But don't play into that anymore. We're all the same now. Latinos, I don't really want to be called a Hispanic anymore because I'm not from Iberia at all. But Latinos, we have fought for our own identity. We've fought for our own identity because we're not Europeans. They don't consider us Europeans. Maybe if you are from Argentina or Chile, when your European percentages are probably really high, and we're also not purely Native Americans either. As you can tell, and as you've seen in many other videos of Latinos, you are mixed. You're like a brand new race of people. That's what we are. We're a brand new ethnicity, mixed of people seeking better lives, people that were conquered, people that decided to escape who knows what. We just don't know. Yes, it could be rape blood. It could not be rape blood. It could be freedom blood. You just don't know. But I just want us to realize that do not be ashamed of who you are. Do not play into this whole let's shame, Africans, or let's shame indigenous people because of who they are. Let's get past that. It's 2016. We have our own identity now, and that's who I am. Yes, my family may have come from, the Mediterranean islands, and half of it is Maya too, but I'm still Latino and I'm Salvadorian, and that's what I'm gonna be. Well, I mean, I'm American, but you know what I mean. My parents are Salvadoran, so that's what I am. Um, this is just for fun. Don't take it too personal. Don't take it to the extreme. This is just something that it can explain, many certain behaviors. Learn about the countries, your genetics. Like, for example, I have Sardinian in me. That was a big chunk, and Maya. So I'm gonna research Sardinia. I'm gonna research the Mayan, their beliefs, their food, their culture, and maybe it'll explain some things. Maybe why I like this and that. You never know. You're you are a product of your ancestors, and there's a reason why they ended up where you're at now. There's a reason why those Sardinians and those Mayas, they ended up in El Salvador, and now I'm in the U.S. Just like my children, if I ever have children, I will explain to them, say, hey, you know what? There was a war in the '80s, and your grandparents had to escape, and we ended up here in the U.S. It's just like that. It's just your family story, but you are who you make yourself be now. That's it. Anyways, much love to you guys. I love the discussions going on. I'm learning so much about, things of history that I've learned that are probably not even true, because there's people that from those places that are like, no, it's not really like that. No, like for example, the Celtics, I didn't know. Someone said they didn't invade Spain. They actually came from Central Europe to Spain, then to like the British Isles, which that blew my mind. Um, or I always thought that the Ottomans were founded the El Andalus, in the south of Spain, but no, it wasn't them. It was the Umayyads, or I probably got it wrong. But anyways, um, yeah, just take it with a grain of salt. Please do not post any racist comments. If you do, I will delete them because they serve you no purpose. It just shows you how ashamed you are of yourself that you have to shit on other people. And we have enough hatred in this world and in this year. Just love each other. Love who you are. You are who you want to be. That's it. Your genetic makeup is just your genetic makeup. That's all. You are who you want to be. And I am just me. So, much love to everybody.